Today on MTG Unpacked we're going to talk about how I did in the Rivals of Ixalan Draft. Just had that event this afternoon. Thought it was a great deal of fun. We actually had 8 people at the LGS. I thought there would be quite a few more, but I think the crowd is all there for Friday Night Magic, so perhaps they're busy over the weekend, but still a lot of fun. Actually went 2-1, so won 2 games, lost 1. The one that I lost was to a uber powerful Merfolk deck, so he had drawn the Merfolk Lord, I think it's the Tyrant of Erazka, and he had a lot of good synergies, +1/+1s, an unblockable Merfolk, all that sort of thing, so that was really tough to counter, and you'll see why in a moment. So let's get started here. This was the promo card that everybody received, Baras's Bounty. For each land you control, create a colorless treasure artifact token with tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Why squabble for trinkets when we could be living large off all this gold? So Admiral Beckett Brass, and I like the foiling on this, the gold beach and the logo down there looks pretty cool. Alright, so before I forget, I'll do the blessing of the packs so nobody can say I didn't do it, Jashing. So we'll put those aside. What I'll do is talk a little bit about the process. So if you do not know what a draft is, I did a video about it recently. Go watch that if you're unfamiliar. So what I decided to do was I went with a red-black deck. Was going for a bit of a aggro strategy because the first card I drew was red. I'll get to that one in a moment. I thought it was pretty decent, and it was one of those City's Blessing cards. So then it just snowballed from there. There were some cool flyers in black, so that moved me towards black. And then from there it seemed like I was getting signals that people were picking up like green and blue, and white was mostly missing, so I figured red and black was still mostly open. So here is what ended up in my sideboard. So this is all the stuff that I did not play in the deck. I actually didn't side any of this stuff in during either of the 3 matches. So we have Wanted Scoundrels, Dusk Legion Zealot, Desperate Castaways, Fathom Fleet Border, Frenzied Raptor, Swaggering Corsair, Sun-Crowned Hunters, Angrath's Marauders, and then for the enchantments, instants and sorceries, I had Recover, Golden Demise, Gruesome Fate, Shatter, Buccaneer's Bravado, Hijack, Form of the Dinosaur. This one I was thinking about, but it seemed like it would be a bit too risky, so I passed on that. Gilded Sentinel, Traveler's Amulet, and here was my junk, Cleansing Ray. This was just the last one in a pack that got handed to me, so obviously white, not that useful. So as for why these were in the sideboard, mainly because I already had a lot of low mana cost things in the deck, so I just had to weigh which ones I thought were better. A couple of these cards I already put in the main, so they did not make the cut for duplicates. And then we have these high mana cost things. I'm probably not going to be able to play some of these if we're going for an aggro strategy. So a couple of these lower mana cost ones as well. Just didn't think they compared that well with what I had in the rest of the deck. Leave a note in the comments if you disagree, if you think there could have been some cool synergies with anything in these other cards. So next we will go, let's see, let me separate out the lands here, put that stuff to the side. So here's the main deck that I played. We have a Daring Buccaneer, so a 1-drop. I actually don't think that came up at all in any of the games. Telenali's Summoner. This was the one that made me veer towards red. I think this was in my first pack. So this has Ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing for the rest of the game. So when Telenali's Summoner attacks, you may pay X and a mountain. If you do, create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens that are tapped and attacking at the beginning of the next end step. Exile those tokens unless you have the City's Blessing. So I figured this would be cool for the getting the elementals. I didn't actually use that ability as it turned out, because this usually got swept off pretty early on. But yeah, I did get the City's Blessing in most of the games, so that was pretty cool. Next we have a Stormfleet Swashbuckler, Goblin Trailblazer, Sun-Collared Raptor, Fathomfleet Firebrand, Direfleet Captain, so this was the black and red guy, Rummaging Goblin, Frilled Death Spitter, Brazen Freebooter, Fathomfleet Border. Now here we come into, got a couple of good flyers here. We've got a Sadistic Sky Marcher, and the lifelink was crazy at one point. I had one of these sorceries I paid to attach a lifelink to one of the flyers, and I think I ended up with like 42 life or something. Voracious Vampire, Dusk Charger. This was another good one. When you get the City's Blessing, it turns into a 5/5, so that was pretty powerful. Vampire Revenant, another one with flying. And that one, I think that one may have been the one I attached a +2 and a +3 to that, so that would give me like 8 total. Fathomfleet Cutthroat, Mausoleum Harpy, another flyer. So whenever another creature you control dies, if you have the City's Blessing, put a +1/+1 counter on Mausoleum Harpy. Recover, so bringing stuff back from the graveyard. I did that a couple of times. Dark Inquiry, never came up at all. Mark of the Vampire, so here's the +2/+2 and lifelink enchantment. That was pretty powerful. Same with this one, Telenali's Crown. I did have a bit of a punt. When it comes onto the battlefield, deals 1 damage to enchanted creature. So I was going to pump up something with a +3 and a +2. Well, I attached this to one of my flyers that only had 1 toughness, and when this was pointed out to me, I rather embarrassingly moved it to the graveyard. It didn't really affect the outcome of the game because there were so many merfolk on the battlefield. I didn't really have any way of dealing with that, but still embarrassing. Got a +2/+2 in haste. That was pretty good. Swashbuckling. Bombard. Got rid of a big dino, and that's it. So that is the main deck. And then for the mana base, so we had Unknown Shores, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mountains, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 swamps, so 50-50 split, and then this would get me anything else I needed. So what is that? We've got 17 total here. Instants and sorceries, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those, and creatures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So pretty much bang on for what you want to have the proportions in a good deck. So there we have it. That was my Rivals of Ixalan Draft deck tech. If you have any comments or any things you perhaps would have done differently, or let me know how you went in your draft if you participated this weekend, let me know in the comments. Now, Jace has blessed these packs. These were my prizes for the draft. I actually came 3rd out of 8. So let's get stuck into these, see what we pull. Hopefully something fun. We have Crashing Tide, Stampeding Horncrest, Sun Sentinel, Knight of the Stampede, Recover. I think I've got a place out of that now. Plummet, Buccaneer's Bravado, Martyr of Dusk, Sworn Guardian, Colossal Dreadmaw, Flood of Recollection is the uncommon, Forerunner of the Legion, Shake the Foundations, and a rare is an Arch of Arazka. Alright, so this has Ascend. So normally you tap, add colorless mana to your mana pool, or pay 5, tap, draw a card, activate this ability only if you have the City's Blessing. And a mountain, and a treasure token. So much treasure. Alright, second pack with Merfolk on the cover. What did you play at draft? What is your favourite tribe? Do you have any preference between dinos, vampires, merfolk, or what are you playing here? Let's see. We've got a Goblin Trailblazer, Legion Conquistador. That was one I considered in the draft, but I didn't think I'd find too many of those. Sea Legs, Naturalize, Dusk Legion Zealot, Hardy Veteran, Luminous Bonds, Colossal Dreadmaw, Dark Inquiry, Soul of the Rapids, and that was one that bothered me a fair bit in that game I lost. Enter the Unknown is the uncommon. Shake the Foundations again. Arterial Flow and Jadelight Ranger. Alright, that's a nice hit. So when Jadelight Ranger enters the battlefield, it explores, then it explores again. This is a 2-1 for 3. This is probably one of the top cards in the set. So, very nice, Jace. Thank you, sir. You've excelled again. And a Swamp and a Sapling token. Alright, so that was the Rivals of Ixalan Draft. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button for more Magic the Gathering unboxings. And tap the notification bell to be notified whenever new videos come out. And have a great day.